This is Reg in the Zoo coming to you from Buffalo, New York on a Sunday evening. Time is 9:36. How was your day, dude?
My day was pretty good. It was really sunny out today, so that was a pretty good start to the day, I feel.
It was a great day, actually. Work started off really good. The weather was great, so snowboarding was fun. I actually just got off of work, 2 hours ago. Went home, showered, and came here. Feel pretty good, though.
It was definitely a blessed walk out into the front of my house. As soon as I walked out, the sun was like that warm today in Buffalo that it was like, wow. I honestly, I forgot to text my buddies, but I almost said, the first thing I thought, my 14-year-old brain, went back to when I was young, and I was like, oh my God, it'd be a great day to toss the football around today. And, I didn't text it to my buddies, but later on, I don't know, maybe 1 o'clock, I was at work at the restaurant, and my one buddy said, just witnessed a guy hand washing his car in his driveway in February.
So somebody rode their motorcycle in today, too.
To the ski slope?
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's fucking badass.
Yeah, and then when I walked out, so what I got to do is I got to set up the hill when I get there. So when I was done setting up the hill, walking to my car, just went to go grab a couple things to take up on the hill with me. And he's standing next to his bike, looking around, smoking a cigarette. He's just standing there smoking it,
what kind of,
so people would see him.
You have to give me more descriptions if you can remember.
Well, he was a street bike, so it was a really nice bike, actually.
Crotch?
Yeah, it was a crotch rocket for sure.
I always like to use the word crotch first.
Yeah, those were huge.
Keyword crotch. I feel like riding one of those makes you have a fleshy patch.
I tried doing it, dude. I had one for a little while, and my legs just got
have a fleshy
super
patch?
sore. No.
Good.
No.
Because if you did, I was gonna be like, pull it out. I want to see the the sheen on that patch. I feel like those things, because of the way that they have to ride them, they must. All that speed and turning and just writhing and erosion, I feel like it turns you into a Ken doll.
Oh my God. Yeah, dude, I honestly, I couldn't do it. It was really the most uncomfortable thing
I wanted a motorcycle my entire life, I think. Yeah. I've wanted to. And it was strange. That was one of the first signs of, conscious or morality was oh, this thing would be dangerous. Yeah. And, I wanted one really bad since I was a little kid. I was obsessed with them, and I never rode one. I rode one time, actually, when I was, 15.
I did the whole deal. I went and got my license. I did the, I don't even remember what it's called. It's in West Seneca now, I believe. But you got to go take, the 3-day course, 2-day course, and you get your license after. So I went and did that. I bought a bike before that. I only had my permit.
I feel like everybody that gets
most of the people only have
the
their
bike
permits
first.
Yeah,
it's a fucking RC car, and then it's all right, you got to go down to Sam, the bike guy.
Yeah,
It
was.
Oh, you want to ride,
dude? It's pretty intimidating, actually. It's it's really
which part? All of it, or the course, or
Not just that, just riding the bike. I thought I was going to be cool. It was that's pretty much all it was. I just wanted to be cool. There's people out there that are really good at it, but
it was cool. The fact that you did it. What color was your bike?
It was blue.
Royal blue? White, royal blue, and black?
World Rally blue, the STIs, the Subarus, like that. It was a Kawasaki.
What was the fastest you think you went on it?
I went 130 on it before. 130 on Clinton out in the country.
That's scary.
And it gets up to 130. It's insane, dude. But the thing about a bike, though, is it's when you're going faster that you feel more comfortable on it. When you're going 5 miles an hour in a parking lot and it's all wobbly, that's the hardest thing. I struggled at it. I'm I'm never going to get the hang of this. Yeah. But not only that, riding one of those crotch rockets, your legs are up, and I was I think I'm just too tall. Not that I'm that tall, but
yeah, you're
I'm a beefy guy.
The legs, they're really up there.
Yeah, dude. I just couldn't do it. My legs would hurt at every red light. I had to stretch my legs and stand up. It's fun, but hey, it just wasn't for me. I feel like
some
snowmobile.
they have the guys pull right up with their backpacks, and They look somewhat almost comfortable sometimes in some scenarios, but like still, I'm like that
Well, a lot of the younger dudes
doesn't look necessary.
a lot of the younger dudes that get it, they just wear like sneakers. You're
Yeah.
supposed to wear something above the ankle.
Yeah, I
They're
feel like you
wearing
would just,
shorts.
just grind your flesh.
Yeah,
right
dude,
off.
you gotta. I mean, it's fun and stuff, but I just think
Yeah,
now
we
that
did
I'm older,
work with a
gotta
company
be safe.
that out in Elma, that Moto Z, and they sell like that Fairgan stuff. It's like super good.
You said out in Elma?
Yeah,
That's on Clinton, right?
it's somewhere out there.
I thought they were at like Town Line for a little bit, and then I think they moved down to like Clinton and Two Rod or something.
Something like yeah,
They ha-
something yeah. But that was they have like the best riding gear. Not even trying to sell it. Like it sounds like I'm doing like an ad for it.
We're trying to sell it for sure.
Yeah, Deanna and Jeff, if they ever saw this, would be like, yeah, say something about how great it is. It is pretty great, actually. But yeah, I remember doing research on the actual products.
Yeah.
That's one cool part about the job is like doing research. You know, you have to research whatever company you in marketing or digital media or whatever it is that we do. It's just fun to do all sorts of research. And like, I just remember thinking like, if I was ever going to do this this shit, riding those things, I would definitely have like the best of the best, like equipment.
That's what I tried doing, and
It's still though, like then it's like, oh, if I want to stop and grab a Twizzlers at the fucking gas station, I got to walk over like a stormtrooper.
yeah.
And then I'm like, and then I can't get my wallet out because my like riding pants are like fucking super velcroed over my like regular
my
shorts
God.
underneath.
Okay, so you'd have the whole outfit then. All right.
Well, if you want to be safe and I want to be
Yeah.
out there on the road.
Well, they got those
you
cool
know,
jackets
if I
with
want
the
to
padded
stop
backs
and
and
grab
everything.
like some nachos or a lot lizard or something.
Yeah, that was like the rough part. If you didn't have like a backpack, I mean, they're
I
especially
thought
in a
you were about to
crotch
say that
rocket.
was the rough part. Like if you pick up a lot lizard,
No.
you can't like get your riding gear off.
Well, it's like I only
Out
had
on the back
I just had the
roads.
helmet and a jacket. I didn't have
Whoa.
I didn't have riding gloves. I didn't have like I just had boots, just regular boots that were just above the ankle, just to be safe. But I only had a jacket and helmet. I didn't have gloves or pads or anything like that.
Yeah.
And even sometimes I didn't even ride with a jacket. Not many people do. It's just I don't know. Not to rat on anybody that
I rode
does.
a motorcycle one time, and it was my uncle's, and I was in a small community. Sound like I'm 87 years old. I was in a small community, and it was not. I don't think it was a Harley Davidson, but it was like I think it was like a Honda or something. But it was like that style of whatever you would call that old Harley style.
Yeah.
I don't know, traditional standard.
I don't even know
Signature
anymore.
series. I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
Like
I
a
remember-
cruiser, like I think
yeah,
like a cruiser style bike
yeah,
or
it's
something.
basic,
Yeah.
Not like the ones with like the thick saddlebags, like not like the old man with like the antennas. Not that level cruiser.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those were cool though.
Yeah.
Like there'd be like a pack rat of like fucking 6 old people on those, just like wide legged, just.
Dude, they got like really good
They're,
sound
like,
systems on those
tan
things
and
too.
Burgundy, super shiny.
Yeah,
and
like those
chrome.
super old type colors.
Like
that,
just luggage on the side.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a purple motorcycle, and I think my one uncle bought it, and my other uncle like ended up just kind of buying it, and then he was riding it around for a little bit, and he was just I don't know down there. It was just sort of like, yeah, go ahead, just ride around the block. And I was like, yeah, all right. Not super like trained in motorsports necessarily.
Yeah,
super
I was
like
terrible
to
at
go
it.
super fast. Love it. Drive real fast for the most part. Not really much anymore, but like always did. Since I was little, I liked to do stuff like anything like that. And I was about probably 14 or 15, and I kind of like got it going. And I remember what you just said, like about going fast. And now scalably, I'm going like literally under 10 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And then I got going like 15. And I was like, all right, I'm in first gear and I'm driving a motorcycle. And then I like somehow,
a good feeling,
Yeah,
for sure.
somehow I like made a decent turnaround like at like a stoplight, or not a stoplight, but like a stop sign, and I kind of just came up and did a little spin around like a bike almost, just kind of, and then I like kind of like a little tiny bit back up, and then it got into the driveway, and then it was like, holy fuck, I'm getting up near the door, and like I got like up in there, and then slowed down enough, and I remember my uncle kind of being like, hey, and then I like stopped, and then realized it wasn't a bicycle, and it like almost tipped right over, and I almost like, then worst part was I almost tried to stop it with my leg,
Dude, that's
like
the
a
worst.
fucking like ooh, and then like I remember just like
Burn the inside of your
my
hand?
leg, and then like
that happened to my friend. He did that on
remember
my
carrying
bike.
enough, and it wasn't hot because I'd only went 0.12 miles.
You're talking the exhaust pipe, right?
Something like that, yeah.
They
just
get-
one of the big silvers.
They get super hot, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
No,
Whatever.
yeah,
that was about the extent of it. And then I was like, I think I rode on the back of a couple with my like uncle that owned it, another uncle when I was a little kid. But
It's a really good feeling when you learn how to like change gears on a bike. Like when I was first getting one, I didn't know that's how it worked. I'd never rode one before, or like anything. I thought it was just like an automatic, like you just turn the thing and it just goes.
Well, that's how
I didn't
these
know the
electric
shifting, but
ones, I guess they say are.
You can get, you can definitely get that, especially I think like scooters and stuff. But like I'm so used to a snowmobile now, where it's just you just push down the button and it's just constant acceleration as long as you're flooring it.
Yeah.
That's totally fun. That's like my new favorite thing.
Yeah. So what we were talking about doing something like since it's Sunday, tomorrow's Monday, we go back to like a kind of job A.
Yeah.
And we both like do a job B. So we were thinking about doing something like what was this? I think it was second job sob.
Yes.
Second
job
job
sob of the
sobs.
week.
Yes, maybe. I like alliteration, so I fit in a couple more S's in there. Probably second job sob Sunday story of the sucky Sundays.
Okay.
Slappy Sally.
Wow, Dr. Susian, huh?
So creative. Yeah. So, anyways,
Super original here. Good.
I actually, when you texted me that, I figured, we might as well. We talked about on the first one after we forgot that we didn't plug your mic back in. But on the first one, we talked about how we both had second jobs and we're both around, 30. And you mentioned something happening at your job. So let's hear your second job sob.
Yeah.
Whiny millennials.
I mean, to a certain extent it was. But yeah, when I was texting you that, I was just thinking like the whole point of it is it's, when you have it in your head, it sounds so great. And then when you want to get it out, it's like, why can't I say it in my head so perfectly, but
Your
I can't
story?
say it straight through? Just like, no, like like what I'm trying to like get across
Yeah,
with it.
I was about to say, don't fucking kill your story already.
No, I'm not. It's just I'm starting it
I
out.
believe you. I believe in you and you.
It's just I just like wanted to talk about working at jobs you like and want to work at as compared to working at a job that you need to have just because you need it. And this job that I had, or that I have, I still have it, obviously. I
At the
used to
beginning
love
of
it.
this podcast, you have this job.
No, not
I'm
about
just
me.
fucking
This is
around.
about.
I know.
the
No, not
Elegant
the
Bill.
job that we
Oh,
work
yeah,
together.
yeah.
I'm talking about like,
Yeah,
whatever
that's
you're
my
about
bad.
to say.
That's,
we can edit out.
Yeah, we can skip over some
Whatever
stuff.
fucking shit you tell me, bro, is between you and I.
No, so it used to be the job that
Just you.
I wanted to work at.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're at a job that you want to work at, it doesn't feel like a job because you want to be there. And what's better than that? Going to work and not feeling like you're at work. But obviously, being professional when you're there, but, not like it's exhausting to do that at all. But it used to be the place that I used to like love to work at. And I hope it can still be that, but now it's just turning into a place like that I feel like I just need it just for some extra, some extra income. So today, I kind of like lost it. So what I
Oh.
do there,
Zing.
what I do is
Here comes Bad Matt. Bad Matt walking in.
yeah. I mean, since we've worked together,
You were
I've
so
been
you were
pretty
so
calm, cool,
yeah, you were so fucking
collected.
chill in the beginning of that story, and I
Yo.
just imagined like
Yo, man.
Dark Matt.
Yo, you don't even know me,
Here
son.
comes Dark Matt.
You don't even know me, son.
Yeah.
So
What
I was-
happened next?
Working at a ski resort, you don't make much money there. Trying to make this long story short type thing. You work there just so you can ski for free. I think I talked about that in the last one a little bit. Don't want to dive too far into it. But you don't make much money. So, which is fine. And that was never an issue. Last year, it was never an issue. I don't mind driving fucking an hour and 20
Out to
minutes.
the slopes.
Yeah, an hour and 20 minutes.
It's a beautiful drive once in a while.
2.5 hour round trip, whatever.
Yeah. Get used to it.
And I mean, I'm the one who's working there. Like, I can always stop if I don't want to, but it's just I never used to mind that, and now it's like dreading like going there, but still going there and doing it, and today was like it for me.
Yeah.
So we
What-
ended up.
Yeah.
I
what
ended
were
up
the-
getting out like 2 hours late because we're doing all this extra work that other departments should definitely be doing, and we make less than everybody there. I don't know why, considering that we do more work than everybody. That's something that I never understood. But anyway, end of the day comes. The general manager decides that we need to put things called tower pads up on these snow guns. What it is just a huge tower with like a bunch of little air compressor type things, and that's how they make snow. It shoots out of there. But those are stationary, so they're always there. So we had to put tower pads on them, apparently, which is something that we've never done before. It's already after hours. We're
What's a
trying to get
tower
out of there.
pad? Like a
So a tower
condom?
pad. So you got your ski lift.
Yeah.
On the ski lift, you got these towers. Each one. They
Yeah.
usually run in the middle of an actual trail
Yeah.
that you can ride on.
So there's
So
some
you have to
people,
put a
if they
tower
don't
pad
hit,
there.
so they
Yeah.
hit.
So if they hit, it's kind of a
Are these
cushiony hit.
machines even in the way?
Or
Or is this for
to a certain extent.
regulation?
But we used to have these other things called bee nets. They're super tall nets, and they usually go
Yeah,
down the whole
those-
run, so nobody can go in the woods over there.
Yeah.
So they're right along the side of the trail, right where the trail meets the woods. The glades as they call them. But we had to put these tower pads up, and it's just like, I'm already here after hours. I don't have any days off, and he knows that. And we all know that. Like,
No
everybody
days
else works
off.
other jobs. We want to get out of there. Everybody else in the whole resort's gone, and we're just there doing this.
Was it dead? Or was it busy there?
It was busy today. It's definitely busy on the weekends, being the kind of resort that it is. But
So why would
this
you
is
have a
everybody
busy
left.
day?
It's just like, well, everybody left, and we're doing this. After we
getting
clean
dark?
up. It was starting to get dark.
Is it lit?
No,
What the fuck?
no, not at all.
Well, that's just.
It was getting
stupid.
dark. End of the day, we're all exhausted. A lot of us work other jobs full time and then out there part time, doing 40, 60, whatever, how many hours a week.
Sounds like a morning. That sounds like a morning.
Yeah, and we've
thing.
been there since 7 in the morning. It's like 6:30.
Yeah.
Like 6 o'clock, 6:30. I've been there 11 hours and I'm just exhausted. And now these tower pads are huge. They're like 8 feet by like 8 feet. They're huge, and they weigh a lot too because it's a giant like foam cushion in there. It's huge. Got to wrap it around the towers, but we had to wrap it around the snow guns and everything.
So you drag these out with like snowmobiles?
Yeah, so we tied to the back of the snowmobiles.
That's kind of cool.
But then we gotta. That's where like it gets funny because today
snowmobile.
I'm going down one of the runs there on the sled. Just going down to pick somebody up to tow them to the top. And my snowmobile rolled as I was going down. So it was a steep hill, and I mean I was being a dick.
You went down.
Kind of, because I was in a
You
bad
were
mood.
fucking gunning it, all pissed.
So yeah,
Bad
that
Matt.
was one of those things
Bad
where I was just
Matt
like,
back
just
into this story.
just fuck this. I'll just get this
Fuck
shit done
this
and get the
shit.
fuck out of here. Exactly. So I turned the skis. My back end on the sled is kind of
Were you listening to
fishtailing
music
out.
at this time?
No. I had my. You got to wear a helmet, a DOT approved helmet.
Did you fucking smash your head off?
No,
or anything?
no. So I had to. So I'm going down the
A
fishtail.
lot cooler if you did.
I know it would have been. It kind of wailed out of the left there, and then so you got to turn the skis in the direction that you're going.
Yeah, you gotta go in.
Yeah, exactly. And I just was on too steep of a hill, and then it just turned like that. So then I had to jump off because if it rolls over you, I mean, the thing's how many 100 pounds?
How
I don't
many
fucking
people
know.
were around, Matt?
So
Bad Matt?
that's where it gets funny.
Just fucking vigilante justice.
Oh,
You're just
man.
gonna bail out and ghost ride the whip, Bad Matt?
Yeah, so
So a young toddler.
no. This is after hours. Nobody's on the hill. The hills are closed.
Boom.
This is during cleanup.
boom.
But there's a run in the middle where people can hike up and down. But about maybe 60 feet over to my right, because I'm looking up the hill at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm the sled's all over. I had to do like a somersault type thing after I jumped off of it. I stand up right away, like didn't miss a beat. I rolled right into a stand up.
Obviously.
And then
Because you don't jump off a snowmobile and not do that.
I just take my helmet off.
Whip it, obviously.
And I'm like, fuck this.
Bad Matt.
Fuck this job. Fucking. I'm like, fuck this pay. Fuck this. And then there's members. It's a private resort. And then there's members
Caddyshack.
like 60 feet away. They're like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. And then
Yeah.
my one supervisor is down there. And I'm like, because he's kind of having it with that place too. And he's like, he's just like looking at me. I'm like looking
He's
at him.
thinking about if he
Yeah.
should join you or not.
He's like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. I keep saying it every time they ask me. I'm like, I'm fine.
Are you fine, bro?
And then I'm like, just fuck this job, fuck this, fuck that.
Oh,
And then
man.
I flip up the snowmobile. I have to ride it down the hill because all the oil came out of it. I had to fill it back up with oil.
So you had to just like
Yeah.
let it.
I couldn't turn it on when I was riding it down, so it just was a neutral ride up into the
man,
garage.
what a
So it went
slow-
pretty. It was kind of cool.
What a slow, sorrowful like ride down. So it wouldn't
Yeah.
even start after that.
Yeah, no, it
So you just,
would
like-
start, but you shouldn't if it doesn't have the oil in it. It takes like this.
It was like you
two-stroke.
spilled your own oil everywhere when you spit
the
out
oil
all your
was on-
fucking.
all the oil was on the hill.
You locked all that old oil inside. And you just busted that shit out.
Dude,
You took your skull off and just chucked it.
Oh my God. Especially at that place, I never thought it would happen because I'm snowboarding. But it's like now snowboarding isn't a relief anymore.
Somebody
It's
came up behind me, but it was just that light
Oh,
back
shit.
there. I almost
Yeah, we
knocked
got-
it over and started a fire.
we got some legit lighting going on here too. By
Yeah,
the
we
way,
look pretty good, I think.
yeah, I think it does. By the way, we got like a monitor right here, so we can kind of see ourselves to see if we look like douchebags or not. but-
Eventually, we'll probably have some more digs, maybe some other people here.
Yes.
It's just us two.
Yeah. Let's segue into something a little more,
Well,
a little more
wanna-
happy. A little
Yeah,
more
I
happy.
figured actually I had something to say about that, something I've found, and like, not to get too preachy, but you know, I'd like to kind of share my my bits of little Lucky Charm marshmallow
Go for it.
treat thoughts that
Go
I
for
find
it. I just
ever
rambled.
since-
I just rambled for like 8 minutes there, probably.
Yeah, I used to drink heavily often, and
Yeah.
now I don't. So even just like standard practices, like when things go just like according to like regular standard life expectations, like get these ideas that are positive
Yeah.
rather than negative. Like usually they're like little like just shitty warheads of thoughts all the time. Now I get these good ideas, but that's kind of besides the point. You know, I know you don't really like drink heavily, but I think that like with the you know, over the hump progress that I've found, I've also found, you know, obviously some more positive viewpoints or outlook. And like one thing I would say is like the thing I've always like found in all the jobs that I work is it's tough also because the moment you kind of start like bringing it and like being the energy or like starting almost like the moment that you kind of like you're like, all right, I'm going to be the one to bring the positive energy to work today. And then like people start to kind of gravitate to that. Then you like set a bar that like you kind of have to keep up.
Yeah.
And then you almost like quit real quickly or like, but like I would say like the one thing that I try to do, and it's always like if you have enough like rest or if you're in a really bad mood, it's kind of hard to do. But like if you can manage to like try and be the best part of everybody there, it's almost like you start to notice that everybody else is really more pissed off or in a shittier mood than you. Yeah. And it's kind of like if you just maintain like just base and like don't even try to necessarily like go too far for someone or like feel like almost like too shitty about someone and you just try to maintain that like cool wave, it's almost as if people start to like gravitate to that almost, which is a lot easier than like, you know, novel like leadership in like, you know, false hustle moments. But like just I don't know, I try to like just kind of be that, I don't know, that backbone almost, or like that skeleton of someone's day. That's not to say that I, you know, don't have those days. I didn't necessarily have one of those days today, but I think that's another whole reason why we're doing this podcast is to talk about shit just like that and also start to try to introduce, you know, other people's shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just talk about it openly. That would be pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, it's always nice knowing that somebody else has experienced.
That's what I think everybody, like, it's weird because social media, it connects and disconnects us because it doesn't really connect us like directly. It connects like the avatar to the avatar directly, yeah. Which then, like, I'm friends with people on Facebook that I've never even met.
Yeah,
I've
like,
commented and talked to them, like, like their shit, not talk shit about them like I know them.
Yeah, I got rid of my
no
Facebook.
Idea who they are.
I got rid of my Facebook years back. I mean, I have an Instagram, and I really don't follow anybody I don't know. I follow more pages like cinema type pages or IGs or whatever. But I had all these friends, mainly like hot girls that I'm never gonna talk to. Just, you know what I mean? It just came up as like, all right, she's hot, you know, whatever.
I feel like that was the
scumbag.
Beginning of Instagram. It was pretty much like that. I feel like
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. But
no, I don't know. I know. What I've been talking about
all the like your Facebook and everything, and how social media connects you but disconnects you.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that like people have either no desire or even people that are like overly confident publicly seem to not even really connect that well. Yeah. Like the people that are super confident publicly aren't really connecting that internally or intrinsically with people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally got you.
I see a lot of that in restaurant, you know, jobs. Like I don't know, I've been doing it for like long enough where.
How many different ones have you been at? Have you been at a decent amount or just, you know, a handful or so?
Like different restaurants?
Yeah, that you've worked at. Is that something that, is it hard to like want to stay at one of those places for a long time, or do you like to?
No, I mean, I like to kind of stay where it's comfortable. But I worked at Olive Garden for like 6 years. That was my first job. But my brother worked there before. And like he worked there before me. And like it was a decent job. I made okay money. Yeah. It was like super hard. I could talk. You could have a whole podcast nationally about just working at Olive Garden because it's remarkably like universal. I think it's crazy that like it's as like a company or a brand, it's like amazingly consistent. Like how is it that you could be like in any of them? It's like a fucking Twilight Zone. Like you could be in any fucking Olive Garden, and you could be anywhere in the country. If you woke up in it, you wouldn't know where the fuck you were.
That's crazy.
There's the newer like style.
Yeah.
Like some of them are those newer buildings, but like that's what people are gonna get used to.
Doesn't Olive Garden don't they own like Red Lobster too, or whoever owns them? They're all part of like this chain?
Darden, Red Lobster, I believe was sold. Yeah, it was sold a few years ago.
So I'd always get like gift cards, and it'd always have all these restaurants on there. Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, there was like 5 restaurants.
Yeah, like Olive Garden, Red Lobster, fucking whatever the other ones were, but those are the only 2 I remember because I think that's all we really have around here at least.
Yeah, I worked there.
I was just trying to make the thing with the card, so thank you for this.
I'll spare you too many details, but otherwise I worked at a few other places like privately owned. And then I worked at one more kind of corporate place here in Buffalo. I'll spare the names for later stories, but yeah, I mean, just working in restaurants, I think the more comfortable you get with it, the more you kind of can just like watch the people. And like my place isn't super, super busy. Like it's only, maybe 2 servers on the floor or 3 maybe at a time. So it's like, it's pretty chill, but obviously it's still serving. So it gets busy. And one thing I had for my second job, Sob, which it's not even really a sob because I did have like a pretty decent weekend and I had like, nothing too like bad to report per se. Yeah. But I had one humorous part, and ironically, I successfully flipped it. I'll explain something to you.
Do it.
I'm gonna explain something to you.
Enlighten me.
It's like all of a sudden this is gonna become like a fucking motivational podcast. Are you ready, son?
Do it.
Look me in my eyes. No,
tell me the story. Tell me.
Yeah, put your fingers inside of my soul. So yeah, no. So I had just a couple of tables, and I don't want to be like too specific, just by the off chance. I don't know. We'll try to like maintain some form of like secrecy, but I'll try to. I mean, like if they ever did see it, they probably know what it is. But whatever. It's not like nobody else will know. Yeah. So whatever.
We have. What is the First Amendment? Freedom of speech, right?
Yeah.
We can say whatever we want.
Yeah. So I had these 2 ladies, maybe like, I don't know, 39 to 46. And the one was like blonde, kind of like portly, like just kind of plain, nice, not just basic lady kind of. And the other one was like super thin and like decently like attractive, I guess, for like an older woman, but like had shorter, kind of curlier brown hair, and like she was super posh. Like you could tell she was like immediately you could tell she was like awkwardly wealthy, like just socially awkward. Wealth like probably locks away often, and this was like maybe just immediate, like, I'm sorry that you're in public and I'm the one. But I don't know. As I approached the table, there was just a weird, immediate, she just sort of like, and it wasn't like she was like, oh, who is this man? But it was just sort of like, even me just walking up to the table was too much.
Yeah.
Like, she wasn't like, and like, the egotistical side of me maybe would have thought like, oh, she thinks you're cute. Like, that little devil side of you like thought might be like, oh, she thinks you're cute. The other one might be like, oh, you walked up too fast. Like that's like kind of serving. You're just always thinking that shit. And that's kind of the fun of it, I think, is like just maintaining in front of people because they will try to break you, I think. I think serving's somewhat like how they portray military in movies.
Yeah.
I don't know if the real military is the way, but as long as whatever they do in movies, like Major Payne, like that's like
Major Payne.
I feel as though like being a fictional character in the backstory and the background of Major Payne is something similar as what it would be like to working at Olive Garden emotionally. But yeah, anyways, so they order, and again, there's like multiple types of tequila, and I don't know this third word still telling this story, but she says that word. There's like Blanco, Negro, and like something else. We would be able to look it up. We could look it up later, but she says like, "What's your best blah blah blah?" And I was like, I don't even know what that is. What is that? Because I'm not like the broy server. I'm not there to act important. So she says tequila, and then luckily Matt, or the guy I work with, he came by and he knows the bar menu the best. So he told her, and she was like, okay. And then she ordered a bourbon, so clearly wasn't good enough. So then she said this bourbon, so then she got that, and then they ordered. We're just gonna get a couple things. We're just gonna get the charcuterie board and the stuffed peppers. Okay, no big deal. Charcuterie board, are you familiar?
No.
Charcuterie board is just basically like a selection of meats and cheeses. Traditionally, I would assume like if you have one, it's gonna have some decent cheeses on it, and basically like those kind of shaved meats, like, or you could have maybe some breads and spreads on there, maybe. Usually, it's pretty good cheese, but like if it's gonna be pretty good, it's probably like not cheap. And I bring it out, and she was just like, can I see a menu? And I bring the menu back, and I come back again, and she was just like, yeah, I don't usually, like, send shit back, but, like, I just feel like I'm eating cabbage or something right now. And, like, I was just like, what? And she was just like, I don't know. I just thought it was gonna have like maybe some like better cheeses on there or something. And I'm like, I wasn't surprised. Yeah. I seen who she was. I seen it. As soon as she sat down, I knew who was she, But like, as soon as she sat down, I knew that was like the type of person she was. But just the way she said, like, I don't usually send shit back. Oh, Siri. No, it's okay.
Send shit back.
Yeah. So anyways, Siri just popped in and said hello, and now she's going back down below. But so she says it tastes like cabbage and
small heads.
And I genuinely I look at the cheese and I'm like, it's not the best cheese, and I just watched the guy put it on the plate, and I know it's like just standard cubed cheese. It's cut. It's good. It's good cheese. But it's nothing like crazy. Yeah. So I was like, "What do you want me to do?" And she was like, I was like, "Take it." And she's like, "If you could." And I'm like, God. Sure, I'll see what Matt has to say. Who is the guy? Like, I was like kind of mentioned him as being the owner before. And yeah, so anyways, to wrap it up, the way that I kind of flipped it on its head was while they were still there, my next table just so happened, and here's like the little signs. I feel like we got to write down a word. We got to think of a term for these different types of signs in life as we talk on the air waves. But so my next table, like two couples, like middle-aged. I almost thought I might have recognized the one guy. Could have seen him before, waited on before. Man down. But
what is that thing?
It's
an army dude. It looks like
it's
with
an army dude with a dinosaur head on it.
That looks pretty legit.
Yeah, so they end up ordering some drinks. They're having a decent time. The other table's still to my right. And they say, and I have a hard time getting to know people at new jobs. That's why I kind of like to stay at places once I get comfortable. But so that's kind of the way with tables too. Like, I'll keep it dry if they like show that they don't like me. I'll keep it pretty dry. But if they show that they're nice, I'll like maybe crack some jokes and be like chill with them.
Yeah.
But they asked me like something, or some drinks, and they were pretty lively. So I started talking to them a little bit, and then the guy was like, "How's your guys' charcuterie board? What do you like? Well, how the fuck? What are the odds?"
Yeah, right.
Not gonna not tell this story. So I told the fucking story silently, complete earshot, very quietly, sinisterly, with body language and intent. And they fucking died. I delivered it pretty well to them. But, like, yeah, that's how I kind of flipped that on its head.
So, like, knowing that you work in a restaurant, I always imagine what, like, you would do. Because, I mean, I definitely, like, seen you yell, and I just picture you doing that to somebody who's like, I don't want this food. And you'd be like, well, what do you want me to do with it? You know what I mean? And just, like, freak out on them.
Yeah, that happens, though, bro. That's probably why he's, like, I don't know. That's restaurant work, man.
Yeah, I can
that's
imagine.
The fucking war zone, bro.
It seems like a stressful.
You gotta fucking live in it. You gotta have that fucking twitch in your eye. You gotta be able to just walk up to that table when you're like ready to have an emotional breakdown. I feel like it builds good character.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It definitely builds good character.
A lot of actors get into that, right?
I feel like, yeah. I feel like they would have to naturally be in. It's kind of, you have to be comfortable.
I want to say Jamie Foxx said that's what he did for a little while. I think it was Jamie Foxx.
That would be interesting to look up.
Yeah. Definitely got to look up some stuff.
I was about to write waiters who act, but I meant to say actors who wait.
Pretty sure Jamie Foxx. Actors. Why is it always so fascinating to know what actors used to do or...
Because you try to figure out how the fuck they crossed over into being like someone who's respected for just being an actor.
Amy Adams worked at Hooters. Sandra Bullock. It doesn't say where she worked.
Sandra Bullock probably worked at a seafood shack when she was 11 before she got famous.
Russell Crowe, Chris Pratt, John Hamm, Kristen Wiig.
Imagine Russell Crowe bringing over some like Red Lobster biscuits.
Oh my god.
Or Russell Crowe like super greasy and like wiping down a table at like a fucking sweaty hot summer diner.
They had that one guy that was on the Cosby Show or whatever. I think a couple years ago, it was like a huge story that they found out that he's working at like a supermarket right now. As he's like a working actor, he's doing that too.
Yeah,
is the one guy. He was on a couple episodes of It's
Tony Danza.
Of It's Always Sunny. No, he was from the Cosby Show.
The guy that looks like Tony Danza.
No, he's a black dude.
Oh.
Yeah, he was one of the.
He was friends with Tony Danza.
No, I don't know if he has anything to do with Tony Danza.
No, he doesn't.
This is way before Who's the Boss.
So he's a black guy.
Yeah.
He's a black guy who was working in a supermarket and he used to be on the Cosby Show?
I believe he used to be on the Cosby Show and he did a couple cameos, not of himself, but he did a couple episodes of It's Always Sunny. He pretends to be like Tiger Woods and Steve McNabb or some shit, whoever the quarterback is for the Eagles.
Donovan McNabb.
Yeah, Donovan
Not
McNabb.
Steve McNair. Yeah. Rest in peace, Steve McNair.
Yes, sorry
Except
about that.
for the fact that he prevented us from winning a Super Bowl, kind of, even though he didn't. Steve McNair, R.I.P.
Yeah, that was
great quarterback.
That was pretty crazy. But the fact that, like, you know, I think it's because he probably lost the residuals from the Cosby Show because
you don't even know his name,
TV program
bro.
stopped airing it. Let me pull it up.
Fucking, you don't even know his name. It's Tony Danza.
Dude.
Who's the other guy?
I heard. Okay, here's
who's
the
other
story.
guy that looks like Tony Danza? But or is it him who's teaching again? Look it up. Tony Danza teaching. Google it. Tony Danza teaching. I guarantee he's teaching again.
Danza.
The camera don't lie, bro.
Tony Danza. Oh my god, I don't think this is it. Teach Tony Danza?
Yes, that's a story. That's a fucking show about him being a teacher. Isn't it? Does it
Is
say
this like
it's
a made up
documentary?
show, like when Steven Seagal was apparently like a Louisiana sheriff or something?
No. No, and that's funny you say that because
I heard that.
I used to try and call myself the sheriff at Olive Garden
That's funny.
when I would get in arguments like you were pantomiming earlier in the kitchen with managers who I didn't respect.
He
And
teaches
them, I don't care if they hear this.
2 sections of
'Cause they're
10th grade
probably on a
English.
mail out somewhere. Is he really a teacher?
The final episode date was November 5th, 2010, bro.
That's because he's a real teacher. Is Tony
He probably had too many kids
Danza
fail.
a teacher?
So, seeing as now, we don't have a rating on this show, do we? Are we going to
No.
be PG-13, rated R,
Bro,
TVMA?
Tony Danza's American reality show about him becoming a 10th grade English teacher in fucking Northeast Pennsylvania.
Final episode 2010.
So Tony Danza's not black. So
Okay, we
who
cleared
were you
that up.
talking about?
That's what I'm going to pull up. But then we got into the whole Tony Danza thing. Okay, before I forget.
Always
When I was a kid in middle
Sunny.
school,
Cosby.
anything
show.
sexual related was hilarious.
Teacher.
And my buddy told me that this is what my
Jeffrey
friend told
Owens.
me in 8th grade. Told me that Tony Danza used to be a porn star.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that he was famous for something called the Danza slap.
Oh. What did he do? Let's hear it. Let me write that down.
The Danza slap.
It's the Danza slap.
You know, apologies to whoever's gonna listen to
See,
this.
now are you making this up?
This is what my friend told me. I swear to God,
So me
I'll
saying
never
Tony
forget this.
Danza fucking summoned this demonic story.
This memory
of the
that I
Danza
probably
slap.
haven't thought about in
It's the Danza
maybe like
slap.
20 years, bro.
It's the Danza slap.
So he told me Tony Danza was a porn star and he was famous for his move, the Danza slap, which
The
is
Danza slap.
once again apologies. But
Warning.
It's
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert for sure.
Slap.
So right before he would bust, apparently,
Okay.
he would slap his dick on their forehead and
On the
then
forehead?
bust all over, and it was apparently called the Danza slap.
Just
That's-
one time.
That's just what my friend. I don't know what he would just because he was a boxer or some shit. So
The Danza slap. Ladies and gentlemen, write it down.
I don't want to Google
Kids,
it. So if you guys want to Google it,
yeah, Google it at home.
Comment
Ask your
below.
mom and dad. Ask your
Comment
mom and
below.
dad if they remember before Tony Danza became a teacher. And kids, when in Northeast Pennsylvania, when we reach you via advertising targeting, because you're probably out there in Northeast Pennsylvania and Tony Danza's probably your teacher, ask him about the Danza slap.
tell him.
Ask him.
Dude, I haven't even thought about this
Mr.
in 20 years.
Danza!
That's crazy.
Get the fuck out of my classroom,
The Danza
Jamiroquai.
slap. The Danza slap. It sounds legit, right?
Do you
If
remember-
you just say it, the Danza slap, it sounds like a
You
legit
remember
move.
Jamiroquai?
Oh yeah, dude. I love that hat he used to wear. Yo, that video they did
When
where
he-
like the room was like moving. That
I
was
want to know
awesome.
how they did that.
We can.
Back then, I want to know how they did that video.
That was
back
probably
then.
all practical. Like they had to actually make it move and shit.
It.
Constant moving of the set or something.
Yeah.
It was really cool. I love that.
Even
that
just
video.
thinking about it just made me upset
Yeah.
a little bit.
He's good, dude.
Did you see my brain just? It was almost like yeah.
one of those for sure.
You know why? Because I've been thinking about it my whole fucking life. How
the
did
hell did they do-
Jamiroquai's video
How
move
did they do
like
this?
that?
Why don't they have a making of that?
There's a lot.
Remember that? Remember
It'd
that
be
show?
too long. They wouldn't be able to wrap it up.
That show they used to have. What is it? Making the video. That was on MTV where they.
That was sick.
That was kind of cool on some of them.
Pop-up video was cool.
That was VH1. That was really cool. I like that.
Making what was it called?
Making the video.
That was pretty cool.
And then they would premiere the video at the end of it.
I remember it.
But they would do like Britney Spears and like NSYNC and stuff. So I never really found it too interesting.
Is this the guy?
Yeah. That is the guy.
Jeffrey Owens.
That is him. Did you just Google that or did you
I
have?
looked it up earlier.
Did you?
Yeah, you didn't even notice. Master Googler.
Oh God.
Skiing and biking though, that was one of the things I wrote down. Like that guy that was skiing and biking. I wanted to go back to that guy. What was he wearing?
What's
He had
that?
a blue bike. The guy that was smoking. The guy that rode his motorcycle.
Oh no, I had a blue bike. So that guy.
Oh, fuck,
He had
yeah.
like it was like a almost like a charcoal color or like a gunmetal. It was definitely a sweet bike. Probably. Shit, I didn't get close enough. I didn't want to look.
Did he
like
get on
I
the
didn't want to look,
slopes?
so he thought I was like
Did
admiring
he just
it.
come up to fucking chill and
No,
pull
I
some
think he
pussy,
worked
or
there. I
did
think he
work?
works. I think
Did
he worked
work
there.
the
He
oh.
might have been a lifty or something.
A lifty.
But I didn't want him to see me looking, thinking like, oh yeah, cool, he's got a bike and stuff. But
Lifty.
it was a cool one. It was probably like a Yamaha, like R6, R1, or no, definitely not an R1, like an R6, 600 class for sure.
Did he have jeans on?
What's that?
Did he have jeans on?
I think he might have had snow pants on.
So he just
But
fucking,
he's just chilling there, smoking a cigarette. Like the Fonz, just I got a motorcycle. I rode it in February. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's just me. But he's just chilling there, like the fact that he's like smoking a cigarette, and he's like, you can just tell, dude. Like, I don't know. I feel like smokers know. I'm not that I'm a smoker anymore, but like smokers know. You can just tell like what somebody's thinking when they're, or like whatever. You almost try to like act cool. I don't know. That's just me. But anyway, you
I
can
feel
just
like
tell he's
there's a
trying to
certain
do whatever.
moment that is happening.
Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, you can look really cool smoking. I'm not endorsing it, but I feel like there's sometimes you can just do it right at the right moment in the middle of an argument or drop the mic moment. And you're just like, yeah, fuck that.
I wonder if that fucking poor son of a bitch ever actually feels like he is cool. How far does a man have to fucking go? How far does a man have to go to feel cool?
That's a good one.
I could sing songs about anything, bro. We could do that someday.
Do a little,
because that would be fun.
Yeah, we can do some freestyle, boy.
I can't rap, but I could sing stupid shit pretty good.
I can't rap at all. I can just sing or rap a bunch of Eminem songs. That's about it, and a couple Tupac songs. That's about it, though.
That sucks.
What? What?
I'm just fucking kidding, bro.
What?
I'm just fucking kidding. You could spit underneath my lyrics like Nelly and Tim McGraw.
Nelly and Tim McGraw.
Yeah,
That's,
that was a good ass song. You don't remember that song?
I don't remember that.
Oh my god, it's fucking
When
good.
when did that come out? Did that come out when we were kids? Because I haven't heard from Nelly and.
Oh yeah, we were young.
I haven't heard from Ed in about a minute. You know what I'm saying, Joe? Yeah.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
I gotta look that up.
Did you ever see the movie The Others with Nicole Kidman?
I haven't. That's a newer one too, though. Right? That's not like an old one, right?
Older.
Is it
It's a
early
little
2000s?
older. I would say early
Turn of the
2000s.
century.
Yeah.
Little turn of the century.
Yeah, I would check that out. That's a really good movie. What's a horror movie that you've seen that you think I might not have seen? And I'm not challenging you,
No.
but I am, kind of.
No, I like that. I'm a movie buff. If I know anything, it's movies.
Let's have
let's
a
go.
little
What
movie
about-
buff corner right here.
Let's do it.
Little
Let's do it.
4-minute segment.
Let's see how it
And
works
like
out.
I got a timer on, but we don't need to stop when the timer
It's
stops.
10-4. Yo, Reg in the Zoo.
Hey guys, we're back.
Back at you.
Thanks for supporting the podcast and listening for a little bit longer as we continue to really just do nothing but create some work and put some work down, like a little bit of a jam band. We were talking a little bit about movies.
Yes.
I brought up the movie The
let's
Others,
discuss
but
that.
you've never seen it, so
Never seen The Others.
We'll leave that in the queue.
Do a
So
little
that-
back and forth here.
Because
with
we
it.
can always do like tags and shit and bring it back. Because we're going to be doing this for a little while.
Yeah.
This is the first, technically the second, but probably the first of many podcasts that we're going to keep
pumping out.
I hate saying the word podcast, so we're just going to say a show. I think we should just say it's a show.
Yeah. Because technically it's being recorded. We're in a studio.
Yeah. I mean, it makes it kind of like more of a thing if we call it a show, I think. But yeah, so I wanted to maybe have some form of a challenge, or not really a challenge, like competitive challenge, but like,
movie that you haven't seen. Horror movie.
Maybe a good horror movie that you feel, maybe not even that I haven't seen, but maybe that the viewers maybe haven't seen, and we can maybe talk about it.
Okay. I like that. So I think everybody's seen Halloween, but only bringing that up because of John Carpenter. I would say John Carpenter's The Thing.
Okay.
Kurt Russell,
Yeah.
Walter Brimley.
Yeah, I actually did see it a long
Great
time
movie.
ago.
It's a great movie.
I watched it at my cousin Sean's, well, his aunt's house, or my aunt's house. I definitely watched the original. I remember the original being very, very eerie and much, much scarier than the new one.
You're talking John Carpenter's is better?
Yeah, the Kurt Russell, like
Dude,
the old grainy one.
The opener in it is great with the dog just running and the helicopters, trying to shoot it. And you're like, why is he doing this? Kill these people in the helicopter. It's like he wants the audience, he wants the audience to hate those people in the helicopter, but they're actually trying to like save everybody by killing that thing. And it's just like, why are they doing this? And then what is it, like a quarter of the way or halfway into the movie, you realize like, oh shit, it's the dog.
I remember that movie being very creative with like doing a lot with a little, like as most older movies and most older horror movies did, I think. And like I don't even remember, and probably wouldn't like sit and watch it right now, the original, but like I just remember specifically being like decently scared by it. And then I remember trying to watch the newer one and just remember like nostalgia of watching the old one and not really enjoying the newer one.
You know, they did when it comes to like remakes, even the Halloween that they did, the remake John Carpenter's Halloween, not the new one with
Rob Zombies or no?
Yeah, Rob Zombies, not Danny McBride's. Danny McBride's was good, but Rob Zombie
I didn't
just
see Danny McBride's actually. How was it?
It was good. The fact
I forgot it existed.
I was more interested in the fact that he wrote
last
it too.
Summer?
So it came out in 2018 November.
That's my challenge. I gotta see the new Halloween.
There you go. That's a really good one. Not like amazing, but it was great. I mean, I thought it was just good. I thought it was just a good movie. They did it really well. But now they got.
So Danny McBride like produced it.
He wrote it. I'm not sure if he produced it. I know he wrote it. And then that David Gordon Green or something. He did like Pineapple Express, the director. He directed the new Halloween.
Really?
So now next year they got, or this year. They got.
It's a good movie.
They got Halloween coming out again.
The same people.
The same people. It's a sequel, and then 2021, same time, they got the third one coming out. They filmed them. I believe they filmed them back to back.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I love Halloween's my favorite. I mean, I believe if you look at my background, it's fucking Michael Myers. Well, I don't have to show you, but it's Michael Myers. Yeah. When just growing up, that my cousin I told you I saw the other day, he got me into Halloween and Michael Myers and stuff. So that's why that kind of explains more why I was excited to see him, just because we were really close when I was younger.
I remember
he's a cool older
watching
cousin.
Halloween at a birthday party. This girl's birthday party.
The old one's great.
It was like, it wasn't like I remember the birthday party being pretty cool. It wasn't necessarily like something out of a movie, but I remember it was around Halloween. I could name names of people who were there, but I remember it being like a decent mix of like boys and girls, which is rare at that age. And I remember that movie being on, and I remember like I'd watched it before, maybe parts, but like I remember like I started watching it at the party, and I was just getting into that mode, like just getting sinister. I was young, but I was feeling that movie. I was feeling dark.
Yeah, you get really into it.
Not like I was gonna fucking stab a girl.
No, but once you're getting like
in that mode,
it's selling you, dude. That's selling. That movie's a great movie. That was actually the most at the time. That was the most successful independent film that was ever made. It made the most money because it only cost. What was it, like 230,000?
So talk about doing a lot with a little. That was what you I said earlier. Sorry.
Cost like $230,000 to make, and they initially had I hate saying don't call me, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. $200,000 to make the movie, and then there was an additional $30,000, and that additional $30,000 went to Donald, whoever played Dr. Loomis. I can't think of his name.
Oh,
the guy who played Dr. Loomis in the original. That movie went to him, and he was only there for 5 days. It's Donald something. wow, it's like one of my favorite movies, and I'm having a total brain fart right now.
Google it real quick, bro. Broski.
I hate googling because I'll sit there for like 20 minutes until I think of it myself.
See,
Donald.
I remember when I was a boy and I thought that way. I'm just kidding, bro. But I Google everything. I feel as though like it's not cheating. It is cheating, but it's like
Donald Pleasance.
See, I would have never thought of that.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking of it,
I never
it
even
came to
knew
my
that
head
was his
today.
fucking name.
But no, he was a great actor. He was a really good actor. But yeah,
Doing a lot with a little.
Yeah,
That's the key. Every episode. I feel we have to come to a mutual understanding on some random fact, and then this one I think we'll say doing a lot with a little is what we're. And that's what we're talking about today, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about doing a lot with a little.
Horror movies seem to do that a lot. They do that.
Yeah.
It's low budget to do a horror movie.
It's almost It's
the
more.
It's just a bunch of fake blood half the time.
It really is kind of
not
like
too many special
simplicity.
effects.
The more you have, the more fucked up it gets.
Yeah. And you get a lot of no-name actors, too, for the most part. A lot of Johnny Depp's, one of his first movies, if not his first movie, was Nightmare on Elm Street. And he was a nobody at the time.
Good call.
And then became one of the biggest actors out there. Patricia Arquette, another Nightmare on Elm Street actress.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Halloween. She was a nobody. I mean, her mom was actually in the original Psycho movie that Alfred Hitchcock did. That was her mom in the shower that got stabbed.
It's kind of crazy. We have a couple interns at work, and like maybe we'll meet them at some point on the podcast. But it's crazy that like young people that aren't even that young, like 22 years old, hadn't even seen the movie Old School.
Oh my God, I couldn't believe that. Okay, so we told you guys we're around 30 years old.
Yeah.
They're 22, 21,
Yeah.
22, and they've never seen Old School.
No idea.
Like, Old School is, I believe, in my mind, that's like the movie that started all those funny movies. Old School, 40-Year-Old Virgin, like
It just
Wedding
baffles
Crashers,
me. Yeah, it just
all
baffles
those.
me that it's lost touch. Like
Yeah.
I just figured like that was a movie that every boy saw.
I love that movie.
I thought that was like a boy's like a rite of passage or something. Like you saw that movie, like somebody should have shown you
Yeah,
this.
it's like Animal House. Yeah, when we're kids,
It
like,
shows, and it's really funny that like and that's another thing about movies that's cool and being 30 is you can watch movies again now and think completely differently about it because we're a little bit older now.
yeah, I agree.
And like Old School being one, obviously, just like as a recent example, we pulled up that scene of Frank the Tank, and I was just like,
when he's doing
yeah, and he's like it's the scene where he's basically like, yeah, we've got a nice little Saturday.
oh, that one, yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, that's you guys, and that's me, and I'm like, he's just like, no, yeah, I don't know if we'll have enough time. And they're just like, they have no idea.
Yeah,
like,
right, because they're probably, their characters are about our age, yeah.
They're literally, yeah.
Yeah.
And back when I remember seeing the movie, I was not even like the college kids age yet. So like I was looking up to the college kids, never looking up to Frank the Tank, and now here I am like that guy. I am Frank the Tank. Could be. I'm not Frank the Tank, but like those like that generation of the characters in that movie are kind of like our age, I feel.
Right around that. Right around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely make me feel old. But I like, what the thing is though, is I don't feel much different.
Whenever
than
I think about
since
Vince
I
Vaughn
graduated
being
high
in,
school.
I think about him. Sorry, I didn't mean to overtalk you. I think about him being in Swingers.
Oh, Swinger! My brother got me into Swingers. My oldest brother, he got me into a lot of movies when I was a kid.
I didn't see it till I was older.
He showed me the Goonies and shit like that. Goonies, great movie. I something about '80s movies. That's probably why I like Stranger Things.
There was such like free adventure in 80s movies.
Yeah.
The 90s brought on a different vibe where like I don't know what it was, but like something changed this like right before the internet, but like something in the 90s, and I think maybe we could bring an older person on that would totally know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, it seemed like those 80s movies, there was just some free, like wild and crazy, like freedom to like action and even horror and like movies that were like,
that's what I think of in the
slight
80s.
fantasy, but
80s slasher movies.
Yeah, like out of the question fantasy, but it made it like real because it was a movie. Yeah. Whereas now, like you know anything you see isn't like, it's not that it's not real, but a lot of things that are popular now have a tinge of reality. Yeah. Like, at least just a tinge. Even like, sitcoms are breaking the fourth wall with looking at the camera, like Modern Family or The Office, or like, even like those shows where like the ghost hunter shows where like you're supposedly really watching these guys like study ghosts, but like they're not summoning ghosts every episode they turn a fucking camera on. Yeah. So like it's just, yeah, like 80s movies almost like still had that just like fantasy, but it was where movies were still like a culmination of creativity that made fantasy real for a viewer. And it's tough to do that now. I think shows still accomplish it, but I think everything kind of like crossed that bridge.
Yeah. Well, for me, I think it's like the practical effects that they used too, which just made it more real.
I agree with
that. You can obviously tell, like, Jaws is a 70s movie, obviously, but even still, like, that, the shark's fake, but it's still, like, you still love watching that. I like the practical effects, like Guillermo del Toro. He does a lot of practical, as much as he can.
He was just in Buffalo.
Yeah, he's doing his new movie, Nightmare Alley, in Buffalo.
That's an idea. Somebody write that down. I'm going to continue to reference this fantasy that I have a small action figure G.I. Joe sized man with me at all times that runs around
10-4.
Fast.
And write that down.
Really good shape. Yeah, because he has small strides.
Really good shape.
Yeah, he's in terrific shape because he has to do a lot of climbing and things to keep the fuck up. And if his little heart stops, then I just have to bury him in a shoebox and get another one. But he writes everything down on a little tiny notebook because then he has the ability to digitally transfer it into my formats. Yeah. But he writes it down because I want him to physically write it. But yeah,
I'm convinced that he's a real.
So what I'm having him write down is that we should totally try to get Guillermo del Toro
on the podcast
on our podcast.
Yeah, right. He wouldn't do it.
Yes, he would.
Let's
Next
do
time
it. Let's
he's in
try
Buffalo, he'd probably do it.
You think so?
What the fuck else is he gonna do? I feel like that's the thing with people that are like popular and like not popular, but like on that kind of pseudo line of celebrity. Like if they're gonna be in Buffalo, what the fuck else are they gonna do? Maybe one radio with like 103.3 The Edge. Maybe maybe get caught by a reporter at like a restaurant while he's trying to eat some wings and like get asked 5 questions. Like
thinking of it,
we have
who's famous in Buffalo for podcasts? Like
I don't
Bill's
think
Mafia.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think...
And they're not going to interview him.
That's the other thing is about podcasting is it takes an hour. You just got to walk in, talk, and leave. So I don't think it's that intimidating to people. I don't think it's that competitive, where it's like...
I'd be starstruck.
I would hope that 10 podcasters got Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro.
We had fucking Flan the other day from Jael, our Puerto Rican
Flan was good.
graphic designer. That shit was good. I always wanted
was straight
that.
By you. Yeah.
I always wanted that my whole life. And that happened. Little does Jael know his little angel wings flew that fucking Flan right in my fucking mouth.
Back to Guillermo. Have you ever seen Pacific Rim? Not the second one, not Uprising or whatever.
I don't think so.
The first one.
Is it like with the big fucking
the big robots.
Wet robots? Is there a lot of water in robots involved?
That's a good action verb. No,
wet robots.
They're called Jaegers, but they got to fight like these Godzilla type creatures that come up. The first one is it's a great movie.
What's it called?
Pacific Rim.
Oh fuck, that's not. Is that the one where Hugh Jackman fights robots?
No, that is.
That shit.
I don't fucking know. Idea. I forgot what that movie is.
That'd be cool if they crossed.
Oh,
if they crossed universes.
That's another movie that's gonna bug me. I gotta Google it.
Wet robots. Is Dolphin Man? That was a one time a really good search.
Real Steel.
Real Steel.
Have you ever seen Steel with Shaquille O'Neal when we were kids? 90s movie.
Steel.
It was like those.
Did he just like wear like leather and fight crime?
He just wore steel. Like he just wore steel.
Dude, I think I do. Can you do a quick search? I think I do remember that.
Eventually, we'll get a
Shaq.
projector or something.
Well, no, we can put.
We could put a lower third up or something.
We
or
could
a
hide
higher
ourselves.
Third.
Well, no, like it would be pulling up an image in post of Steele as Shaq as we're talking. The viewer's seeing it right now. The dance is slap.
Yeah, we're gonna bring back the Danza Slap. We're gonna make that a thing.
So here's Shaq.
Danza Slap Sundays.
Here's Shaq and Steele doing the Danza Slap. Doing a lot with a little, baby.
Let's look at this movie poster. That's a legit movie poster.
Dude, that's crazy. Did he just have a suit of steel and he couldn't get it off and he had a little white friend?
I'm trying to. Yeah, there's always.
He's always got a little white friend.
Yeah.
Why is every Shaq movie Shaq with a little white boy?
What was the other one? Shazam or whatever? Kazam. With the kid from Free Willy 2 or whatever.
I always dreamed of Shaq showing up at my local summer camp and just playing catch with him or something.
Yeah.
Maybe wrestling with him.
He seems like a cool. There's a funny Adam
Wrestling
Sandler joke.
around.
You ever hear the Adam Sandler joke about that? They were doing something. I think they were just playing basketball together, and it was the end, so they're all going to go to the shower. And then Adam Sandler, he's like, "I want to see Shaq's penis or whatever, just to see whatever how big it is."
Yeah.
So he talks about how he's trying to get in there, and Shaq's got I'm really gonna make this really short, so it might not be as funny, but he's got a bodyguard, and the bodyguard is not really letting Adam Sandler in there, to say the least. Adam Sandler's just kind of walking by or whatever, and then he gets stopped or whatever by the security guard, or the bodyguard, and he just is honest with the bodyguard. He says, this is what he said. He's like, "I'm sorry." He's like, "I was just trying to see Shaq's penis. I'm sorry." And he says it. And then he's like, "All right, I'll go, whatever." And then he sees Shaq later on. And then he's like, he's like, "Hey, I'm sure your security guard told you what happened." He's like, "I'm sorry. Just, I had to see it or whatever." And he's like, "Security guard?" He's like, "I don't have a security guard." He's like, "What?" He's like, "Well, who was that?" He's like, "That was my dick." It was the funniest fucking joke. I'm not the biggest on Adam Sandler, and it was I like older Adam Sandler, but
that shit's funny.
But when he said that, I'm like, that's a good fucking joke if that really happened that way.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
That's funny. The Danza Slap by Shaq.
Danza Slap Sundays. Let's call it Danza Slap Sundays.
Danza Slap Sundays.
Or if we do it on a Saturday.
Skiing and biking.
Skiing and biking.
Skiing and biking and charcuterie boards. Yeah, there was something I wanted to say. Oh yeah, you said Adam Sandler. I have not seen Uncut Gems. That's another.
I haven't
movie.
seen that either. He's nominated for a Golden Globe or
My
something.
buddy saw it. He said it was very good, but I did hear another interview, another podcast,
another show. This isn't a podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
this is
a show.
A fucking show.
Yeah, but Bill Simmons, another one of my favorite podcasters.
That's a real Buffalonian accent. Podcast.
Yeah.
Let us know if we have accents, by the way, too. A lot of people say I
there-
do everywhere I go. An accent.
There's a Simmons pod with Adam Sandler and Kevin Garnett, and it was really good. It was just really cool to see two kind of different worlds collide in a way. And Bill Simmons does a really good job of interviewing people. Yeah. And that's, I think, ultimately, that's why I think we should have Guillermo del Toro.
I'm 100% with that. He's a great director. I fucking love him.
We'll be like, yo,
be starstruck
we've
the whole
got
time, though.
real flan. I don't know if I'd be starstruck if we were here.
I would. I'd like him, yeah, if we were here. If we were, there with his people in his domain, I'd definitely be starstruck.
Well, that's the thing, is they would be
or
here.
Something on set. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, well, we're not going to fucking bother him while he's at work.
We're going to go to the set and we're going to be like, dude, this is right to the zoo.
Because he was just up here.
Straight out of BU. What's that?
They said he was just in Buffalo.
Yeah, he was
doing some scouting.
I just saw that, actually, on Google News or whatever.
So we'll look him up.
We'll see if we can get him on here. We're pretty big. He might he might come on.
I mean, we'll see if we could fit him in.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can fit him in. What's the weirdest shit you saw this weekend? Weirdest shit.
So, like I said, I work the ski resorts. I'm pretty much there all day, Saturday and Sunday. This guy, you ever see like a fat tire bike? Those mountain bikes, they got real fat
Yeah.
tires. People ride them in the snow and the mud and everything.
Mud,
This
the blood,
guy,
and
so
the
we got our
guts.
thing we call the AC shack up top. It's where we store all of our signs. It's where
AC shack.
It's our little like fireman hut, like where we hang out. And then there's an accident called. That's where we're at, and we ride out into the hill. But anyway, there's a little trail literally right next to it.
You sound like the Lost Boys whenever you
Lost
tell a
Boys?
story about your job. This is funny because you said how like you don't like your job, but every story you tell about your job, you sound like you ride out. You're like, yeah, we hang out in a fucking fireman shack, and then we fucking ride out into the sunset, and then we fucking suck blood of virgins.
What?
And then you're like, yeah, I had a rough day. My fucking boss made me bury the virgins, and
Man.
I don't do that shit. It's not really at my level.
Lost Boys is a great movie too.
It is. So sorry, you were saying.
I kind of lost my train of thought.
Yeah, it was the weirdest shit. Weirdest shit.
So we got these windows in there, so you can just see people riding on the trail anytime they ride by. And this guy,
So you're watching
this
to
guy,
pick one out.
Yeah, this guy, because I mean it's open during he can literally ride on the ski slope if he wants to. While people are riding, and then he can cut off onto a trail. So that's what he did, and that's right next to our little AC shack. And he he flips over his handlebars. He hits a little bump in the snow, flips over, and he's like, "Holy fucking shit! That was incredible! How did I do that?" And he's all like excited, and we're like just laughing our asses off through the window. This is just me and my one buddy. This kid I'm with.
Know? Can he?
No, he can't see us. He can't see us because the light's so bright. You can't.
Can
really
anybody?
see it.
Does he know?
No. But no, there's one person on that trail that says, they're like, "Are you okay?" He's like, and then he's like, "Holy fucking shit!" And they're like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "How the fuck did that happen?" And he's like, got like his spandex suit on, like his biking suit or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, hilarious. That made my day yesterday.
Was he was riding around the trails?
Yeah, he was right on the trails, and he just went off into one he must have never ridden on before, and it was like they were dipping a bit, and he just hit a little snow bump and just flipped over. I mean, he was okay. Obviously, if he wasn't okay, we would have helped him, but
Yeah.
that was hilarious. That was the most interesting thing that happened this weekend.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna go off the radar a little bit because your story made my brain fire to a weird random story that somewhat triggers thoughts based on what you were talking about, but in a weird other way.
Yeah.
It wasn't a story from this weekend, but it was one of the weirdest things I've ever watched and one of my weirdest experience, not of my life, but it's up there and you just summoned it. So here we go. I remember it was something like a summer camp or something like that. I feel like I was, out in Chestnut Ridge where those toboggan things are. Yeah. I wasn't there, but it was somewhere like that, at like a summer camp or something like that. And I don't know what I was doing. It was a day camp, or if I was out of town, or if I was on a vacation, or where I was. Fantasy Island, Darien Lake, something weird. But there was like a show, and it was going to be like a show, and it was a fucking mountain bike show.
Yeah.
And I'm standing around a picnic table. I'm like, what's this guy going to just show up with a fucking mountain bike? What's he going to do? There's no jumps. There's no like paths. There's no risk here. So like, lo and behold, a middle-aged, skinny white man with extremely toned legs appears like on a bike without even like touching the grass. He's just like riding around talking, just like almost like a unicycle, but he's not on a unicycle. He's on a fucking mountain bike with like shocks. No pegs,
Shocks.
but like, yeah, super fucking like hydraulic shocks. Like the most hydraulic fucking shocks I remember seeing on anything ever. And here he comes. He just fucking wheels in, and now the show has begun. And all of us have assembled of various ages, backgrounds. And we're here for the show. No curtains need to be dropped. He's here. So he basically proceeds to tell people to like get off the bench. And all he did for like 40 minutes was like hop around almost like on a pogo stick action on his bike, and he would like jump up onto like the park benches.
Oh my god.
And like balance. And then like and then like jump down and like poof, and like test that hydraulic on those things like every time and like just now wheel up to the next. And like literally for like fucking 40 minutes we watched this guy do this. And he didn't go more than like 20 yards radius. It's a great story, right?
That's crazy.
It was crazy.
That's the most interesting thing.
Biking, and it was like, yeah, it was so fucking stupid. But I wonder where that guy is. I wonder if he's still doing shows.
Let's get him on the podcast.
We'll see if Guillermo doesn't come on. We'll try and find that guy.
If he doesn't come on, we'll get his cousin.
I have no idea where I was. It was like a Cub Scout camp or something like that. I don't know.
I agree.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about at all?
No, I think that's good for today.
I think we could wrap it there. I
think we can wrap it today.
Tale. That is true, though, by the way.
That's scary. That's scary that it's true.
You're going to be going on a trip. Where are you going?
I'm going to Vermont. I'm going to Smuggler's Notch in Vermont this week.
Smuggler's Notch.
Smuggler's Notch. Yeah.
Smuggler's Notch?
Little resort up in Vermont, so I'm looking forward to that.
Smuggler's Notch. It sounds like...
doing a little thing with evil skis.
A wound. It's a smuggler's notch.
Like a pirate thing.
Yeah. He's got
He's the
smuggler's notch.
He's the one with the smuggler's notch.
Yeah, like you get
Scurvy.
You get branded with a smuggler's notch if you try to steal something off that fucking ship.
That's hilarious.
So you're going to Smuggler's Notch, Virginia, and you're going to be doing
Vermont.
Yeah.
Smuggler's Notch, Vermont. Smuggler's Notch, Virginia.
So you're going to Snuggler's Notch, Virginia. And you're going to be skiing and doing some video?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing video for a company called Evil Skis out in Ellicottville.
Awesome.
They do custom skis, totally legit. Great people too, like just two of my favorite people that I work with at Hollymont, and that's another reason why it's not. I shouldn't want to say the ski resort. We'll edit that out. We'll just put a fart noise right there or something.
Dolphin.
But they're my favorite people there, and I met them there last year, and they're not there anymore this year. They really haven't been there. They just couldn't, haven't been able to make it there to do ski safety, and it's like a bummer because they're one of the people like I like to see, and I feel like that's one of the reasons why I've been kind of bummed out. But it's nice that I'm getting to go with them to Vermont and stuff, and got my rental car all booked.
Nice.
Kind of happy to see what it is.
It's always cool to go on a trip. I'm sure you have some pretty good stories.
Yeah, I got some bud for it. I'm good to go.
Nice.
It's gonna be a great weekend.
All right. Well, we'll see when you get back.
Yeah, that's
just
a Texas
make sure nobody
size,
gives you the
10-4.
Danza slap.
Oh my God, I'm gonna try to give somebody the Danza slap. That's my mission. That's top of my bucket list.
Yeah.
Who's gonna get the Danza slap?
If you don't come back with a fucking Danza slap mark on your forehead, I'll be
No,
disappointed.
not my forehead.
Yeah. Signing out.